Welcome to FundingQuest, the interactive game designed to complement my course, How to Fund a Small Business Startup. This game transforms the funding strategies learned in the course into a hands-on experience, letting you make decisions, test scenarios, and see how they impact your startup's health in real time. There are 3 primary pages in this game that correspond to a typical business's funding stages. Early stage, where you are validating your business model. Pre-revenue, where you are designing and developing your product or service offering. And profitable, where you are looking to scale your business and economic model. You'll advance through each of these stages as the game progresses. Something to keep in mind is that once you advance to the next stage, you can't go back, so every decision you make matters. In each stage, different funding options become available to you, just like in real life. And every move you make affects the health of your business. You can access the gameplay instructions at any time to better understand your objectives, your stats, and some recommended strategies. You can also save and load a game. Just remember, this works only if you use the same browser. Let's explore the early stage page. At this point in your business funding journey, the only funding you really need is enough to do some basic idea validation. In most cases, this stage is funded entirely by you, the founder. Your goal here is to secure enough seed money to validate your business model. But here's the critical point. This is your only opportunity to personally invest in your company and establish your ownership stake. You won't get another chance later to add more equity. So make sure you have enough runway now without the consequences of relying on too much debt or issuing excessive equity in future stages. To begin the game, enter your company name, your expected monthly burn rate, the amount you'll have to spend each month, and decide how much runway you think you'll need to create a healthy business and min the game. Remember, you can raise more cash in later stages to extend your runway, but this first step sets your foundation. Next, select one or more funding sources for this stage. Most early-stage funding comes from your personal resources, savings, home equity loans, or personal credit, and doesn't dilute your ownership. Remember that while these funding sources may be personal debt to you as the founder, they are equity capital to the business, not debt. Funding in this stage is your personal equity investment into the business. While adding founding partners will dilute your ownership, most other early-stage sources will leave you with full control. Some personal funding options, such as a HELOC loan, are debt to you personally, but from the company's perspective, they count as paid-in capital and establish your ownership. As you make your funding selections, you'll see the live preview panel update in real time. Here's what the key fields mean. Starting cash is the sum of all your early-stage funding sources. Control is your percentage ownership in the company. Risk, momentum, and runway are metrics that will move up or down depending on your funding choices, events, and future actions. Optionally, you can also choose one of 3 deal missions to guide your early-stage strategy. Once you're ready, click Apply and start pre-revenue to move to the next stage. At this point in the game, you've validated your business concept and you've moved on to product design and development. You'll often need more money here to get your product or service ready for market. Because you've reduced some early risk, more funding options are available. But many of them will dilute your ownership and control. Some also contribute to momentum, which directly affects your risk. At the top of the page, you'll see your mission, either one you selected earlier or one assigned to you. Below that is the status line showing your company's health. Green values mean strong health. Red values signal areas that need attention, and orange values are somewhere between green and red. While most of your available options are funding-related, some, like customer-paid pilot, add cash, but this play can only be played once. In this stage, you can also choose an action to simply advance a month to trigger events. Some events will improve the health of your business, others will hurt it, just like real life. At this point in the game, your business may have some operating revenue and expenses, and each time you advance a month, your cash balance will be affected. Scrolling down the screen, you'll find the history panel, which records all your actions and triggered events. By the way, not all health metrics need to be green to leave the pre-revenue stage, but improving them here in this stage will make the profitable stage much easier. Once you're ready to move forward in the game, you can select Advance to Profitable stage in the top menu bar. At this point in the game, you've completed your offerings design and development and are ready to scale your business. Events here, both random and triggered, tend to have bigger impacts, for better or worse. In this stage, you'll also face expenses that can increase your burn rate, steadily reducing your cash and runway with each turn. You will also notice that some funding options from earlier stages are still available, but at higher levels. You have also unlocked some new funding methods available only to profitable companies. Plus, you now have 2 new balance sheet actions you can take. You can use cash to pay down debt, and use cash to buy back equity from investors to regain more control. These allow you to transition to a completely green business health status if managed well. Remember, every choice you make mirrors real-world funding trade-offs, and this game is designed to reinforce what you've learned in the How to Fund a Small Business Startup course. Good luck, and let's see if you can take your company from idea to profit.